what do you want to talk about the Olympics first? The fact that the Americans have the most medals, the fact that Canada actually is doing quite well. I don't know if they're top five in medal count, but
They're
they're
top
still
15. I think
top
they're
15.
12th right now as we speak in medals. Oh wow. Lydia Ko almost hold out on 18. I'm watching women's golf right now. Brooke Henderson is shot 3 over par today. It's not great, but she's known to bounce back, and she'll be she'll be hopefully she'll have a good showing tomorrow, or I guess later today. I don't know. It's so weird with Tokyo and
The problem with doing this pod, so we're recording this podcast about 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. The problem is that it's now, like midday in Tokyo, so it's like things are happening as we speak. Like people are winning medals as we speak, so
yeah,
makes it a little difficult. But
they are. Yeah, there's again so much to cover. I think maybe we'll just do a quick rapid fire of stuff that has been like big headlines. Maybe I want to talk about the 2 guys in men's high jump, the guy from Qatar and the guy from Italy that shared
yeah,
their medal, which was super sick. I think their final height was like 2.37 meters, which
yeah, I think that I was gonna say 2.3, but it's like still a better high jump than I could ever do. Like a
for,
really
for
impressive high
reference,
jump.
2.37 meters is about it's probably I think it's about 8 feet, so it's taller than Shaq, taller
I was
than
gonna say taller than Kevin Durant.
well, yeah, yes, definitely taller. Kevin Durant's only like 2.1 meters or something tall.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, yeah, that's a great deal of sportsmanship right there, and such a cool moment from the Olympics. Not just what's all the Olympics is all about, right? And that was really cool to see that. I think high jump was actually the event. There's a Canadian guy that won it in Rio 2016. I forget his name, but he won high jump in the last Olympics. So it was a Canadian guy. He wasn't in the running this year, but yeah, good for the guy from Qatar and the guy from Italy. I think they're good friends too, which helps. But
I was gonna say they probably have like been on the same circuit for however many years
yeah,
together. Like they probably know each other from being on the same circuit together.
oh for sure.
So Canada's medals, by the way, Canada has 3 gold, including
Yep.
Maggie McNeil in the swimming 100-meter women's 100-meter butterfly, Maud Sharon, who won the women's 64-kilogram weightlifting gold.
Cool.
She lifted 236. I'm guessing that's kilos because they do kilos and
No. Are you kidding? 236 kilos? That's massive.
because they do kilos.
Oh, maybe you're right. That's 520 pounds, just so you know.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that sounds about right.
That seems high. Maybe that's just me, but that seems like a huge number.
I'm looking at the ESPN website, which is probably not the site to look on, but they just have 236 as the result. So I'm guessing kilos because they do kilos at the Olympics. And then the women's rowing eights.
Oh, that's right. That was the other gold medal for Canada.
Won the other gold medal for Canada.
Speaking of medals,
yes.
Penny Oleksiak, who is now the most decorated Canadian Olympian of all time.
Fun fact, I didn't know this. Her first name's actually Penelope.
I didn't know they do.
The more you know.
The more you know, yeah. Penny has a ring to it.
No, it's awesome because of the fact, like, she's 21 years old, I'm 21 years old, and she's already accomplished way more than I ever will, and has done way more than I. But I mean, I don't know if you as a kid ever had this, like, I always had like I'm gonna play for like either like the Everett Silvertips, or I'm gonna go play like, as a little kid you're like, oh, I'm gonna go play hockey in the NHL, and then as you get older you're like, that's probably, especially for me, considering I never really played hockey much as a young kid. It's like, yeah, this is probably not gonna happen.
Oh no, I think every kid has that dream, and whatever sport, whatever their true passion is. I always had a dream growing up. I thought I'd be the first line center in the Anaheim Ducks, or first line center in Team Canada. That was always a dream for me, or even like when I played ball, I thought I'd be the starting catcher for Toronto Blue Jays. I'd take Jose Bautista's spot when he retired.
Yeah.
That was legit. That wasn't too long ago. But again, great job for Penny and what she's done, and it's really cool seeing her. I don't want to say progression, but she's just like become a star so quickly. Like so many other young athletes in Canada, for that matter. It's really cool to see where things are gonna go.
One of Canada's greatest athletes of all time. You would have to. I think she's up there for one of the greatest Canadian athletes of all time.
Penny? Oh yeah, I think Penny might win the Lou Marsh this year.
Probably, there's a good chance that would that's going to happen. I mean, just fantastic to watch. Just so fun to watch and so fun to, support.
Yeah.
Like a very easy person to root for. Somebody who you love to support during the Olympics.
And her Twitter game's pretty fire too, I must say.
Yes.
Which helps, and I think, Ian, to your point as well, she's such a lovable, likable personality, and she's just a person that you can really be a fan of her, which it makes things really easy. And yeah, again, great. Penny's very deserving. I mean, swimming. I will say, swimming is probably one of the easiest sports to become the most decorated Olympian. That and maybe speed skating, but still unbelievable accomplishment from Penny on that.
So did you see this thing? I think it was Complex who posted it. But if you train for a sport for like 4 years, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. But they had it posted.
I did see this actually. Yeah.
Yes, the sport where if you train for 4 years,
yep,
and you got, I don't know, however much money to do this sport.
Sure.
Or if you got a gold medal, you got so much money. What sport would that be? And they had all of them up. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Yeah, you have 4 years to train and win a bronze in one of these to win $50 million. Which one you think you could do? And it's all like the summer
I don't know.
Summer sports.
Yeah. I mean,
I think shooting's up there.
Is it?
Shooting, I think, would be up there for me.
For you? Okay. I mean, like if we include winter sports, I would say ice hockey, but that's again.
I don't think it's. I think it's just all.
There is hockey, but it's the field hockey on there. Field hockey is really hard, by the way. Coming from ice hockey, field hockey is really a difficult sport, believe it or not.
Handball, I think, would rock.
Yeah. Okay.
That I think I could do well in.
I don't know. I would say golf, maybe golf for me, or table tennis. I was like a table tennis player back in the day. I played a bit of Don Ross. Not a big deal.
We all played table tennis at Don Ross.
Yeah, of course. Of course, dude.
Are you also going to talk about Canada's women's soccer team making it to the gold medal against?
Yeah, that's huge. Well, I mean, first of all, they're guaranteed a medal. But
yes.
shout out to Christine Sinclair and Jessie Fleming. I think that was a really cool moment that was kind of shared. It was very symbolic in a way of passing the torch. This is presumably Sinclair's last Olympics, but again, we said that 2 Olympics ago, so who knows how many more Olympics she'll actually show up to. But she basically like bounced the ball and like handed it to Fleming. She's like, okay, take this ball and score. And she did against the Americans, who are the number 1 ranked women's soccer team in the world.
Yeah, it's so cute to see Canada's or America's little sister finally win a game. Off a questionable penalty, but that's soccer. There's questionable penalties all over the place. But
are you kidding? That was a foul, no doubt about it.
Yeah, kind of sold it a little bit.
The girl kicked what's her name? I forgot the Canadian girl's name. Right in the back of the legs. Like,
yeah, it's a little.
And it was okay. If the debate was it's in the box or not, it was in the box. Or is the debate the foul itself?
Yeah, it's a little sketch.
I don't think so. But anyways,
I'm just watching it now. So you can like carry the conversation for like a bit. That's cool. But like,
well, I mean, I'm just gonna express the fact that it was definitely a penalty and Fleming buried it. I mean, to be fair, American goalie picked the right side.
Oh yeah, that's a total sell job.
There's no way. Are you kidding?
That's a total sell job.
Are you kidding? When you're running that fast, you're not selling that, and you get. I don't know. It's again. I did see it, and I think it's a foul, but maybe that's just hard. It's hard for me to say that as I'm wearing a Canadian jersey, but that's just me. So
I don't even.
um,
I don't feel like I'm saying that because I'm also an American fan. I just as somebody. By the way, we had this debate as well. Soccer is like the most overrated Olympic sport because of the fact that you're limiting yourself to your arms or to not using your arms. You're only using your legs. You're not because soccer. You're basically forbidden to use your arms and your hands to succeed in the sport.
well, I think this argument's ridiculous. That's what we talked about on Saturday, but I think that argument's ridiculous. But of course, you can use your like. You're not. How do I explain this properly? Like
I
you're
get what
still.
you're saying. I get what you're trying
You
to
know
say.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
I get what you're trying
yeah.
to say, and it's a bad take because basically, if you want to succeed in soccer, you're not allowed to use your hands and your arms because it's illegal.
Sure.
Whereas running, you're allowed to use, in some running events, you're allowed to use your elbows.
But are you not
But,
running in soccer? Is
yes,
you?
but yeah,
So if you see soccer, are you going to see a soccer player running like that with their hands to the side? No, that looks stupid. Of
no,
course,
but
you're
we're
going to
not.
use
I'm not
it.
talking about giving them an extra boost, like running wise, momentum wise.
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking
is
about
that not
trying
help with
trying
soccer?
to score a goal, trying to score to win.
Sure, but have you ever?
Using your hands and arms doesn't help you with that in soccer.
I disagree. Have you ever seen Alphonso Davies run? You see how fast that kid flies? You think he scored a few goals running down the left side, out of the left back position, runs down the sideline and scores a goal? I guarantee you he scored it done in a few.
But he's not allowed to use his hands and arms to do so.
No, but he's using his arms
That's what
to
I'm trying to.
propel
That's what I'm
himself
trying to
forward.
say is that you're not like soccer. You're not allowed to use your hands and arms.
Have you
So
not seen the goal where the guy throws it in and the other guy and his buddy bicycle kicks it? I think it might have been Arsenal or Liverpool.
I have no idea.
It was a
But
few years ago, Prem goal. Anyways, Arsenal guy throws it in, throw with his hand, throws it in, and the guy bicycle kicks the goal ball into the net. So
isn't it? It's also stupid in hockey. Like remember in the NHL when Andrew Shaw scored that playoff goal with the hitting the puck off his head, and then it was actually disallowed because you're not allowed to score off your head.
I think they changed that rule.
I don't think they did because I think the NHL's stupid and they wouldn't give a shit. But it was stupid and that's why the NHL frustrates me. Any other Olympic conversations or topics that we're missing out of?
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I think the Olympics are boring and they need to like either get rid of half of these sports or make it more X Gamesy and make it more, eventful and exciting. Because there's just hardly any excitement, it seems like, with the IOC.
I think part of that's because there's no fans in Tokyo, which makes things really difficult to bring the excitement, to bring like the rush of a crowd. I don't know. It's like it's same thing with anything during this pandemic. It's kind of hard to do anything properly or like it used to be. There is one topic I do want to talk about, and
All right.
that's Simone Biles.
Oh yeah, she's fucking incredible.
Yeah, she's the
Holy.
goat. She's the goat without a doubt. At least in women's gymnastics, no doubt about it. Probably in gymnastics in general.
One of the greatest athletes of all time.
Absolutely.
Like
So
I'm
those of you that don't know, Simone Biles, she basically withdrew from the women's all-around gymnastics event, which she was favored to win. By the way, she was favored to win, and she stated that it was for mental health reasons, and there was some backlash about that because, like, well, you've been doing training for 4 years, and of course, of all times to have a mental lapse, you have one now, but a lot of people had her support, and that's the beautiful thing about this whole thing is that it's of someone of her um what's the right word
of her status,
of her
of
status of
prestige.
her yeah of her that's a good word of her prestige and her her success and what she's done. She of all people has said it's okay to not be okay, and that's we're big promoters of mental health and positive mental health here on this brand, and I think it's really important that to see someone like her, a successful Olympic athlete and someone of color, albeit, make show that it's okay to not be okay, and it's really cool that that I'm a huge fan of it. I get it. Like if imagine there was something I think Rory McIlroy said that was really cool. He talked about how Northern Ireland only has 6 or 7 million people in the country, and the U.S. has 300 million people. Think about all that pressure on your shoulders, and she she's brave enough to stand up and say, no, I need to take time for myself, and I need to just be in myself and come back, and I'll be stronger. And I think she's actually competing in her next event, which I think is tomorrow or later today. Um, but yeah, and the whole point of this is just good for Simone. She stood up. She is looking after herself first, and that's super important in the grand scheme of things.
I was gonna say that's well worded. I couldn't say it better myself. I was, uh, you know, totally supportive and understanding of where she's coming from because I think we all have those moments, and for the most part, none of us, you and I, or anybody listening to this, are probably going to be competing in the Olympics anytime soon. So I couldn't imagine what it's like facing the pressure of training and competing for the Olympics, and then having to go to Tokyo, where obviously things are not great in Japan right now, and trying to compete in the Olympics with all that pressure. I'd probably be a nervous wreck, but it's incredible to see. She's one of the greatest athletes of all time, and I'm glad she took the opportunity to talk about mental health. And I think it's always good to have the conversation because I think if some people forget about it, or some people it just goes in one year and goes out the other. Like some people forget about it, but no, it is important. It is a serious conversation for a lot of people. So
Absolutely, yeah. You could
hopefully people hopefully the takeaway for a lot of people is that she's an athlete. She deserves to have as much time off as she feels like she needs. Just do what you need to do. Do what you think is best for you, and
absolutely,
people are going to be supportive.
no doubt about it, or they should be at least. And unfortunately, there were some people that weren't, and that's really too bad. Is that they've clearly never been, played sports before because it's like, well, you know, think, the amount of not just physical energy that's expended, but mental energy as well that's expended. And it's so a lot of sports, especially something like gymnastics, where there's so detail oriented, and there's also you have to plan, you have to plan it out. There's the execution part of it too. Plus, you're on a global stage, no fans in the stands, but still, the pressure's still there nonetheless. And to be able to perform it, yeah, it's unbelievable what some of those athletes can do.
You don't like Simone Biles taking time off? Okay, you go work on the
Yeah,
beam or whatever. You
yeah.
go
Let's
do
let's see let's see you do a double cartwheel into
yeah.
into flip, and then land it perfectly. Let's see you do that.
And
Sure.
if you don't do it, if you fail miserably, everybody's gonna laugh at you, and you're gonna be the laughing stock of the internet. So good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Anyway,
Speaking of American athletes,
yes,
let's talk about Xander Schauffele,
your
who
your boy.
I like him. He's a good player. JT, still JT, Cameron Champ.
Okay,
But yeah, I like Xander. Xander's always been a great player. But he was the gold medalist in the men's golf tournament that ended on, well, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Um, in the wee hours for us. But yeah, it's Xander, big win for Xander. Second place was
Rory Sabatini from
Sabatini.
Slovakia,
Yes,
and
and
then
third
Pan.
place was CT Pan. But
Yes.
before that was determined, there was a 7-way playoff for third place, which I think took about 6 or 7 holes of golf to play.
I think you're right. I don't know for sure, but that sounds right.
Play notable playoff competitors were Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa from the United States, McIlroy's from Northern Ireland, CT Pan from Taiwan, and I believe
Matsuyama.
Matsuyama from Japan was the other one, the
Yes.
hometown favorite. So no medals for Morikawa or Matsuyama, but still great finish. And again, I think is golf back? Is golf back in the Olympics? Do you think?
Um, you know, the problem with here's the thing is that I like having golf in the Olympics. I don't mind it being in the Olympics. Uh, I think it's had a bit of a slow start because I remember people weren't totally in favor of the Rio Olympics because of the conditions down there at that golf course, and I think there was some sort of flu or
The Zika virus was a huge issue
Zika virus was a huge thing.
during the
So
Olympics in
so
2016.
Brazil kind of got a bad rap in 2016. So you didn't have the cream of the crop going down there.
I wouldn't
Uh,
say that.
You had a
No.
few guys, but I don't think it wasn't as big as it could have been. Like I think you still had some great guys in 2016, but I just want to pull up because, and then the other issue with 2021 is these Olympics have just been off the rails since COVID. So
Yeah, but that's not really Japan's fault.
no, God, no. This isn't. I'm not blaming Brazil or Japan. I'm just saying, like, kudos for them for putting golf in the Olympics. It's just had a big hill to overclimb to become like a popular, regular,
Yeah.
fun Olympic sport. Did you see JT's post, by the way, about his flying mileage, like since July 4th?
No, is it insane?
So since his 4 week stretch flying mileage, he posted this on Instagram.
Sure.
July 4th, PBI to Detroit. I don't know where PBI is. No idea.
July 4th, that would have been PBI.
I'm gonna find that out. PBI Airport. Okay, Palm Beach.
Oh, that's the one.
Palm Beach. He went from Palm Beach to Detroit, which is over 1,300 miles.
Sure.
Detroit to Edinburgh, which is over 3,500 miles.
It's a long trip. Yeah, it's an 8-hour flight.
July 11th, he went from Edinburgh to Heathrow, which is 400 miles. And then July 18th, he went from Heathrow to Palm Beach again, which is over 4,300 miles. July 24th, he went from Palm Beach to Atlanta, which is over 500 miles. From Atlanta to Tokyo, which is nearly 6,900 miles. And then at August 2nd, he went from Tokyo to Memphis, which is 6,500 miles.
It's ridiculous.
So total in the last month, he has traveled 23,587 miles.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's like 40,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
I think we're close.
It's a lot of fucking flying that he's done for golf. I just.
But again, think about the tournaments that's been like the Open was 3 weeks ago, and
the Open, the Olympics, all this bullshit layovers in Detroit, all this sort of thing.
Hey, it's I think that's a big part of professional sports is that you're flying everywhere, and think about the miles that the Canucks log in a year, or just think of another team, maybe like San Jose.
The Seahawks. The fucking Seahawks fly out.
Well, football teams don't travel every day like some teams do. They travel like
the Trailblazers. How about the Portland Trailblazers? The Portland Trailblazers travel a fuck ton.
They travel a lot too, yeah. Those damn West Coast teams, I tell you.
Pacific Northwest. But no, here's the thing. I'm really excited for golf when it goes to France in 3 years. Like I think there you have a good opportunity to succeed. You shouldn't have the barriers that or the obstacles you've had to overcome with golf in the last couple of years. That's why I think the France golf tournament in 3 years should be really good. So I'm excited to see that.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna be there?
Probably not for the 2024 Olympics. I think I'm saving up for the 2028 in LA.
In Los Angeles, yeah.
That's what I think is when like SYP is going to be really kicking ass, is going down to LA for 2 weeks in July and August when it's just hot as balls and just absolutely thriving in California and Santa Monica.
There you go.